to you from the top of the Poconos, it's The Balcony Show with your host, Ann Thatcher, Bo Summer, and me, the Mad Cat. We have searched the globe for the best in indie music, so you don't have to. So here we go, The Balcony Show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Balcony Show. I'm in studio with the Mad Cat and Bo.
I don't know what's happening today.
I don't think anybody knows.
I know.
It's the heat.
I think it is. It's making us crazy.
It's hot in the kitchen.
It is. Oh, my goodness.
So, coming up on this show, wow, we have Brian Ray. Guitarist, bass guitarist, lead guitarist. He plays all different kinds of things for
He really does.
Paul McCartney.
If you go to check out the Bonnie and Clyde video, at the end it just puts everything that that he played on it.
Yeah.
Initially, you know what I mean? It's like, wow.
Oh yeah, that's really neat, and it's a neat story for listeners who don't know that a part of the real Bonnie and Clyde, Bonnie, who wrote a poem, is actually a part of this song. So you'll have to listen to the interview and stay put.
Can't give away our secrets, Bo.
No, not yet.
Anyways, but first, hit it, Dave.
Oh.
Useless facts. Facts that are freaking useless. Yes, here we go. Useless facts. So, we'll just get right into it. Useless fact number 1. The British Navy uses Britney Spears songs to scare off pirates.
Somalia, the Somalians don't like Western music.
Wow.
So, they use...
I wonder what they think. Is it like in the 1800s when cameras came out? Oh, it's going to steal my soul.
Yeah, I guess.
They hear a Britney Spears song and suddenly it's like, oh no.
Oops, I did it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of them.
That's so funny. That's crazy.
Oh, that's interesting. Different.
Yeah. That should be like an interesting fact, not a useless one. That's actually oddly interesting, I guess.
Is.
All right. I don't know what we do with it. I guess that's what makes it useless. All right. Here we go.
Full circle. Yep. We're good.
I got there, folks. There. It's been a rough week. It's Tuesday. It's true story. All right. Useless fact number 2. Loud music causes you to drink more in less time.
Oh, my God. That explains it all.
Yeah.
They did a study in Germany, I believe, and they actually
took... Leave it to the Germans.
They took 40 men, and then without them knowing it, they played different types of music, and they found that loud music caused them to drink more.
I have a question, Mad Cat.
Yes, dear.
Do you think fast music makes you do things fast?
Oh, God, yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's all energy.
Yeah.
So if you think about
just
it,
follow the beat. Just follow the beat.
I got a visual of that. No.
Oh, what a face.
What's number 3?
My God. All right. So, useless fact number 3. Axl Rose is a quirky stage name because it's an anagram. Just put the letters in the right order, and the result is oral sex. What? The real name of the Guns N' Roses frontman is William Bailey. That I knew.
I did not know that about Axl Rose.
You didn't know his name was William Bailey?
I knew that his name was William Bailey, but I did not know that was an anagram.
But was that... did he come up with that anagram?
I didn't know it was an anagram,
did.
Yeah. I didn't know. But his name being Bill Bailey, won't you come home, Bill Bailey? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I knew that because I was like one of those crazy, insane Guns N' Roses fans. When they came out, man, it was just like, rah, I want to go smash a car right now. I was like, yeah, good stuff. All right, so useless fact number 4. Rock and roll meets wildlife. Termites love rock music. Say what?
What?
According to Australian researchers, They eat wood twice as fast when they are exposed to heavy metal music.
Who's giggling?
The vibrations of the wood encourage them to nibble at high speeds.
Ooh. What are you tapping me for?
Try this with your lunch or when you're in a hurry. Just don't blame us for your stomach ache. Well, I mean...
Well, I guess my question got answered. There you go.
You know what I mean? I guess, the beat changes everything.
So, termites, meow. AC/DC's house, meow. Can you imagine? Meow. They get a termite infestation, and they're playing their music. Meow.
Like they're playing speed metal, and your house is now down to the freaking just nails and pins.
Yeah.
Good God. All right, useless fact number 5. The year is 1989. The dictatorial ruler of Panama, General Noriega, takes refuge in the message of the Vatican. For 2 days, the U.S. military bombarded him 24 hours a day with songs from AC/DC, such as Highway to Hell. The ex-dictator surrendered.
Who knew? AC/DC is a weapon.
Hell yeah. I'm all right with that. You know what I mean? But I'd be back there and be like, yeah, Highway to Hell. Now, we have the song, Got a New Thing, by Brian Ray. Our interview tonight. So, sit down, give it a listen, and when you come back, we're going to be on the line with Brian Ray.
Got a new thing now. I wanna watch you. I wanna watch you walk. I wanna watch you walk away in handcuffs. In handcuffs. Chromium handcuffs. When you're gone, I'm gonna brush you off like dandruff. There's only one thing left to say.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Balcony Show, and we are very excited because we have Brian Ray on the phone. He is best known as, right now, as the guitar player for Paul McCartney, but he is also a solo artist. He's done many duos, and he has also played with Etta James 14 years before landing the gig with Paul McCartney. So talk about magic, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, thank you so much for having me. Hey, everybody out there. Well, it is kind of strange. I mean, basically, I'm just this little white kid from Glendale, California, and there's no good reason why I should be, with Paul McCartney or Etta James, just because of my lineage and where I live and, all of that stuff. It's just so strange to me, but here I am and I'll take it. I'm very, very happy and I'm very pleased.
And you at a very young age knew you had a sister, an older sibling, Jean. She was 15 and quite the musician herself. She's the one who kind of turned you on to rock and roll.
She is. Yeah. Man, what can I say? I was very, very fortunate to have, she was a half sister. So she was 15 years my elder, and the way that led to rock and roll was, she would take me to, babysit me over at a friend's house, and they would all be pouring over photos of Elvis and Little Richard, and I just got the whole package, the whole idea right there.
It was for the chicks then. I get it. Attention.
It's just, it is a little bit of that. It's just like, I just saw an energy in that room with those three or four girls all, cooing and oohing over pictures and records that I just kind of caught it.
And at a young age, kudos to you for that.
That is fantastic.
For sure.
Is fantastic, yeah.
I mean, I must have been 3 or 4 years old tops. I think I was 3, because I think she was, since she's 15 years my elder, was 13 years, 15 years my elder. She was in high school, and I do remember that. She only lived with us for 1 year, and it just happened to be right at the sort of ground zero of the original rockers.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
Really cool. So
yeah. Very lucky, yeah.
I gotta say, the interesting thing that I found about your music is that you have kind of, with your career with Etta James, which I really want to ask you about a little bit later, but I did notice as your career developed and stuff, like now here you are, and I see a lot of the flavors and the influences from the musicians that you have talked about, Elvis Presley, your influences with Etta James in your music now, in your solo career. The vibe on Got a New Thing, to me it's kind of 60s, but yet there's like that 80s, 90s rock kind of flavor.
Nice. That's really great.
How did that come about?
Well, that song in particular, every song starts with a different element. It could be a lyric, a title, it could be a guitar lick, a beat, a melody, a catchphrase. It could be so many things. But in the case of that song, before I had the title, I just had the lick. Down, 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 down. And then I kind of doubled the lick and made it what we would call an 8-bar phrase instead of the usual 4-bar phrase. So it made it a little bit more of a tongue twister, musically for the ear. If like a kid was learning it, it's fairly simple, but it has a little twist, and it's twice as long as most trademark licks. So that's where it started, and then that led to the verse, chords, and built into the riff was the tempo, and soon came this I Got a New Thing, which is a great sort of, let's call it a breakup story of sorts.
Okay.
Right.
Well, yeah, I Got a New Thing would pretty much... Oh, wait a minute. I think I know what this one is about because the cover on this is very interesting.
Oh.
I caught that.
Okay, well,
and I'm right there with you.
Make up your own mind, but yeah, I found myself, yearning for a great big demonstrative breakup.
Yeah.
And, we all get there sometimes in our lives or in our politics or whatever. And
your pinned tweet on Twitter gives it all away. So I'm going to send all the listeners over there. You got to go check out his pinned tweet on Twitter and.
If you send all the listeners over them, only half of them will come back. So there's that. Anyway, I can't help it, man. I come from a time when, artists spoke their mind. And I come from a family of dyed-in-the-wool Democrats and liberals. My dad was a war hero. He fought in the Second World War in the Air Force as a navigator, and was under the command of the late, great Jimmy Stewart.
No way.
Well-known, lovely actor who was his commander. He got captured, and he was in a prisoner of war camp in Nazi Germany and stayed there until the war was done. And he got that message that morning, the war is over. And,
that's an incredible story, Brian.
Yeah, and he passed around a newsletter in his prisoner of war camp in Nazi Germany, talking about the news and what he'd heard from the front line, and he was a liberal. And you don't often hear stories about the politics of people like that, but because he felt so strongly about his the love for his country and his patriotism, when he saw injustice and when he saw criminality, he talked about it. And when he saw something he didn't agree with on either side of the aisle, he was very outspoken. But, he gave me the right through his service to speak my mind. And you know what? I'm going to speak my mind.
I'm into that, brother.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. So.
All right, cool.
Let us talk about the story of Bonnie and Clyde. This is a really cool tune, too. This is very different. It's got kind of like a Western feel to it, a little bit of country, but not. It's a story. So
yeah, it was kind of like I guess an outlaw country kind of a vibe. There's that sort of movement where it's kind of a throwback to the badasses of yore. The Merle Haggards and the great bad boys of country. But it's all mixed in with a little bit of the Southern rock that we might have heard in the 70s, And the idea, of course, came from a podcast series on Bonnie and Clyde that was being produced by Mandy Wimmer, my lovely girlfriend, and her brother Chris, who both run a media company called Black Barrel Media. And they do a lot of Old West stuff and sort of true crime in America called Infamous America. And they do a lot of great podcasts, Black Barrel Media, if you want to go look them up.
That's anyway,
awesome. They were doing a whole series, a season on Bonnie and Clyde, which is, one of the great stories. And I said, you could try this song, that I've heard before as a theme song for Bonnie and Clyde. They listened to it. They really liked it, but they said, I think we would be more likely to find something original. And, I don't know if they were kind of tricking me into writing something. But
it worked.
There I was writing something, and then I thought Bonnie and Clyde, it's a woman and a man, and we were actually using the actual poem written by Bonnie of Bonnie and Clyde, Bonnie Parker, who wrote this incredible poem 2 weeks before they were gunned down, called The End of the Road. And it kind of foresaw their own end. I mean, it wasn't a big shocker. I mean, they were going to get caught up with at some point. Anyway, we used the actual poem because it is public domain now. She made it so. She didn't want anyone making money off of her words, so she said this has got to be available forever. And so I used them and changed them up a little bit here and there, edited them with Chris Wimmer, and then called Orianthi, so it could be like to a guy and a woman singing about a guy and a woman. And there we go.
It's a perfect choice in Orianthi. It was phenomenal.
Oh my God. I mean, everyone knows she's a shredder, but what about that voice?
Exactly. You know, it's great sometimes, you know, to hear her step out and get on the mic as well. And you guys matched up so perfectly on that song. It was really, really good.
All right. So we're going to take a break and listen to the brand new song, Bonnie and Clyde, by Brian Ray and Orianthi.
You've heard the story of Chelsea James, of how he lived and died. One more, here's the story of Bonnie and Clyde. They call them cold-blooded killers. They say they're heartless and mean, but I knew Clyde when he was upright and he was clean.
Well, the law, they took him down and locked him in a cell. He said to me, I'll never be free, so I meet him all in hell.
Well, the road was dimly lit, no highway signs to guide. We made up our mind we wouldn't give up till we died.
Bonnie and Clyde, running side by side. Bonnie and Clyde, forever they will ride.
Yeah.
Well, the road kept getting dimmer, till we could hardly see. We found all we can, man to man, 'cause we know we can't be free.
From heartache, some have suffered. From weariness, some have died. All in all, your troubles are small till you get like Bonnie and Clyde.
Bonnie and Clyde, running side by side. Bonnie and Clyde,
Forever they will
we don't think that we're desperate, 'cause the law always wins. We've been shot at before, but we don't ignore that death is the wages sin. Someday we'll go down together, we'll bury us side by side. The law will be relieved, and some will grieve the death of Bonnie and Clyde. Bonnie and Clyde, together side by side. Bonnie and Clyde,
forever they will ride.
Bonnie and Clyde, running side by side. Bonnie and Clyde,
Forever,
forever
forever they will
they will ride.
And we are back on the Balcony Show, and right now we are still interviewing Brian Ray. What a great history you have had. And I'm going to tell you, I was reading your bio, and I saw, I mean, I think it's a fantastic story in the bio. At 17, Brian's career was as a pro musician was set in motion by wild man Phil Kaufman.
Oh my God! Yeah, what how much do you know about that?
What's that?
How much do you know about that story?
I've only ever heard spatterings of the story over the years. So it's like as soon as I saw that, I was like, wow, that's amazing.
Well, I mean, here it is. It is easily the wildest story in rock and roll. And rock and roll has the best stories, right?
Absolutely.
So, you listeners out there, I'm not going to take up 20 minutes of the interview here, because if you tell this story in any less than 20 minutes, you're doing it an injustice.
I agree.
Just go look up Phil Kaufman or Phil Kaufman Graham Parsons. And that's Gram Parsons. Go look it up on your Wikipedia. I'll wait here. No, I'm kidding. I won't wait here. Go look it up because I'm telling you, you won't believe this.
Yeah, I actually read that. I looked up that story and I actually thought, was that for real?
Yes.
That's a real story.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very much for real, yeah.
Yeah, listen to Brian. Go and check that. Google that story. It's
There you go.
It's amazing.
One question I was thinking about, just to myself, Brian, is how, when you played with Etta, and who was a phenomenal talent, absolutely a phenomenal talent, how did that affect your music career and you as a person? A 14-year journey with this phenomenal talent that, had some issues, but I want to know how it was for you to be her musical director and, be a part of that, and how it affected you as a musician in the field.
Yeah, well, thanks. I mean, again, it's sort of strange and incongruous that some little white kid from Glendale, California, which I call the gateway to Burbank, that I would be chosen to lead the band with, at times an all black band, as the only white kid, and I couldn't be more white. So, I caught a lot of flack, but the truth is that she did choose me. She chose me because I had drive and passion, and she liked my style, even though I was just forming as a musician. I was 18 years old. So I was very fortunate to be with her, and I couldn't have been more happy to be in her tutelage, and to apprentice with her for all of those years. It wasn't just 14 years, because we went on to be very close friends, and we worked together for another 20 after that. So it was a lot of years. And,
wow.
I was driving around in her 80s or her 70s Cadillac Seville in the back seat with my guitar in the trunk and a new son in the back seat with me to shows to do, and showing up in time to rehearse a local group who would rehearse with me, and then with whom I would go out and play 2 sets with her. But she was such a great and magnetic performer, and so hot, and she had such a story to tell and such a fever, to get back out there and play again, because she was now sober, or relatively so. And we got out there, and she just had, the fire burning, and people would just go bananas everywhere we went. And it was very easy to be in her long shadow and by her side, because she was just so magnificent, so hot.
Wow. What a great testament to her.
Well, she deserves all of it and more.
Yeah, incredible artist. So, Brian, going through that story about Etta James and you being so young and, just starting your journey, looking back, what would you tell your younger self from today? And would you change anything or any of the roadmap that you've been on up to this point? What would you change and what would you tell your younger self? Or are you, your path is incredible. Your resume is just, it's jaw dropping for any musician. So, we're in awe of you and everything that you have done, and you're an incredible talent, and we love that your music spans so many different types of music and different artists. So I was just curious to what your take is to reflect back on all those years of all that experience.
Well, thank you. I guess I would look down at my younger self in my teens getting ready to play or just getting a start with Etta or whatever. And I would say, don't worry, it's all going to work out fine. I always had great faith, but there was a time there in the early 90s where the money from my hit record I'd written for Smokey ran out, and I had kind of decided to stop touring when I got very scared. And I remember my late brother saying, well, why don't you give it 6 more months? And I was like, in my soul, I was like, 6 months? That's so final. And, a check came through, for $8,000, and I was sailing again. And, it's just like my prayers just kept getting answered. But I would say to the positive, I would say to any kids out there, okay, so don't worry, but also say yes to everything. Because what I did in the case of Etta, in the case of Paul, in the case of Rita Coolidge, Smokey, I said yes and walked through the doors that were just open a little crack, I mean, with Etta and with Rita Coolidge in particular, those 2 jobs came with, as substitutes for another guitar player who couldn't make it that day.
Wow.
And if I would have said, oh, I don't know, why would I do that? She's got a guitar player. He's probably better than me.
I like the voice, Brian.
Yeah.
I literally just said okay and did stuff that scared me. And I did stuff that along the way that maybe I could even say I thought might be a little beneath me or something, or not quite what I wanted to do. Not beneath me, but maybe not to my taste.
Right.
And I just said yes to everything because you never know who you're going to meet on any given day at any one of these little jams or rehearsals or open mic nights or anything.
Right. And isn't that when you've been in the industry for so long, and I've got some music industry under my belt as far as career-wise, but, in the behind-the-scenes part. But isn't that the key to the success is who you know, and that who you know cliche is so cliche, but it is who you know.
I like what Larry said. When opportunity meets preparation.
Yeah.
Be prepared and don't be afraid, which is what Brian says.
Right.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Don't be scared. Yeah. Take that leap.
Yeah, is that the definition of luck or is it the definition of destiny? I don't know, but that's really true. Like, where opportunity and luck meet,
Be prepared.
Yeah.
Preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah, there you go. I knew I'd get there someday.
Well, I think you've been there and back several times. So the next song our listeners are going to hear is one of my favorite of yours too, The Tears of a Clown. What you did with this is incredible. And this charted on the Billboard Top 40 with Smokey Robinson. How did this come to be?
Well, funny enough, I was, every time I'd go out there and do some of my solo shows, I would add in a couple of, I didn't have quite enough songs when I first started as a solo artist, and I'd add a couple of covers in, and this was a cover that I just always liked. It was an arrangement that a friend of mine came up with in the late 70s. I was in a band with a guy named Reggie Knighton, and he recorded with Roy Thomas Baker, who produced Queen and Cars and Journey. And we did an album with him, and this was in our live show. And I always loved the arrangement that Reggie came up with. It was very sort of Cheap Trick meets The Who. And so, hey, I was doing my soul song that I wrote for Smokey many years ago, 30 years ago, called One Heartbeat, and I thought B-side, what if I did The Tears of a Clown and put them out together? And then I took another step, and I said, well, what if I call Smokey and see if he'd be willing to come and sing? And he did, and I was very lucky and very happy that he did, man. I mean, what an honor. I mean, Smokey Robinson wrote songs that both the Stones and the Beatles recorded. And
that's a full circle moment. Yeah.
Getting up enough nerve to call him to, to sing on my version of his song a little bit.
Wow.
Wild. There you go.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we're going to listen to The Tears of a Clown with Brian Ray and Smokey Robinson. You're going to love it, and we'll be right back.
The tears of a clown when there's no one around, just like Pagliacci did. I try to keep my sadness hid, laughing in the public eye. In my lonely room I cry, tears of a clown when there's no one around. Cry the tears of a clown. There's no one around. Yeah. Give the band some.
And you're back on the Balcony Show with Brian Ray, best known for being the bass guitar, lead guitar. I think you play a lot of guitars for Paul McCartney.
I do. I play all the guitars that you could imagine. I mean, 12-string, 6-string,
What's your
electric-
favorite? Like, what's your baby?
Epiphone.
My baby
Yeah.
is the 1957 gold top Les Paul that I've owned 18 years old, and on which I played every show I ever played with Etta,
Oh, how
except
neat.
for one telecast show that we did together.
Wow.
Yeah, it's my sweetie. It's it's worth good money because it's a great vintage collectible guitar, but it's really valuable to me mostly because of its provenance with my early jobs with Etta James.
And you paid $850 for it, right?
I did.
And you thought it was a lot of money at the time.
This price.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And that will be around long after you're no longer here, and it will have a story. So that's great
Nope,
that you kept it.
I'm taking it with me. No, I'm kidding. You'll be, I'm gonna play it up in heaven or down there wherever they send me.
Wherever they let you in, right?
Right.
And you collect guitars too, correct?
Yes, I do. I love guitars, and I'm just kind of a nerd. I mean, just recently I bought another vintage guitar, and it kind of sets you off. And then I start looking on Instagram, and every other post is a guitar I want.
Sounds like my husband.
Is it?
Oh my gosh.
That's every musician's wife's nightmare.
Yeah.
The only difference is
Oh, I've had that for years. It's been in a guitar case in the closet.
yeah.
Okay, you guys, for you and your listeners, if you have any cool Gibsons or Fenders that are just in a case in the closet, they've just been sleeping in there, you call your old Uncle Brian.
Yeah, there you go.
I will buy it from you, and I will pay you fair money.
Yeah.
I will stand upon a head to give you a deal.
Well, if I can convince my husband to sell any of his stuff to pay off my kids' college loans, I'm going to ring you up.
There you go.
Yeah,
you might have scored a guitar.
Yeah.
How can it get any better, Brian?
I'm such a nerd for that stuff. I would love it.
So the last song our listeners are going to hear tonight is Pirate Radio. Do you want to tell our listeners something about Pirate Radio and what's it about? And
Yeah, sure. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm of a vintage, meaning I'm older, that, when I was a kid, and, I gave you a little hint about my age when I talked about being 3 and 4 years old when rock and roll was really taking everybody by storm. I also got a little gift for Christmas, and it was a transistor radio. In those days, it was slightly larger than a pack of cigarettes and much better for your health. And it had a single earpiece. It wasn't stereo. And you could walk around with it. It was battery powered. It would pick up AM radio stations. And It was just like, it was close to having a car. I was 6, 7 years old, and I got it for Christmas. And I remember one of the first songs I heard was, what was it called? Bobby Sox and the Blue Jeans, I think it was, doing the Locomotion, or Little Ava doing the Locomotion.
there you go. Yeah.
And Bobby Sox and the Blue Jeans doing Zippity Doo Dah. And their cover of that song. And I was tuning in at night one night just because, I had this thing, and it was my thing. It was my own secret club. And they're trying to go to sleep, and on comes this wild, this guy making wolf sounds. I was like,
Oh no, Werewolves of London.
oh my God, what is this? It was so scary and cool. And then he's playing these old blues and R&B records, and then he'd come back in talking like this. And I thought, who is this cat? What in the hell is going on? And it was Wolfman Jack. And he was the DJ on a pirate radio station blasting out of Tijuana, but only at night. In the daytime, it was like, some kind of Mexican preacher, a distorted microphone yelling at you about, about God and Jesus in Spanish, But at night, it would turn into the coolest radio station you've ever heard. I got terribly addicted to it. It was my little secret club. And I thought I'd write a song about that called Pirate Radio. It was illegal to have a radio station such as that in the U.S., so they blasted out of Tijuana.
Wow.
That's
awesome.
crazy.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's a Wolfman.
Oh,
And
he
they
was
also
phenomenal.
they had one like it on the coast of England, in England, on a boat, and they were legal off a certain amount of miles from the shore, and they would get chased around by Coast Guard over there.
Oh, that's great.
But, and that's what they had over there. So there was pirate radio in Europe, in England, and in the U.S.
So, pirate radio, there you go.
Yeah, cool
now you know
song.
the story.
Yep.
And
Well,
I can't
thank
let you go without mentioning the Bayonets.
Well, yes. I started a little band with my buddy and sometime songwriting partner, Oliver Lieber, the son of the late, great Jerry Lieber of Lieber and Stoller, who, speaking of Elvis, wrote some of his early hits like Jailhouse Rock and produced and I think wrote Hound Dog, even though I think they stole that one. And a bunch of other songs for them, also the Coasters and stuff. Anyway, Oliver's the son of Jerry Lieber. He and I have written together for years, and I came over to his house one day to write some more music for what would have been a third solo album. And he said, I'd love to write some more music, but let's do a band instead. And I said, okay. And we started talking about what that band would be like, a departure from my solo stuff. And then we came up with a name. That took about 2 months of the silliest late-night text you've ever seen. But we finally landed on that. And we've done about 14 songs. Our latest release was on Gem Records. I think we have 7 coolest songs in the world over at Little Steven's Underground Garage.
Which is really
so we
cool.
got a lot of airplay, yeah. A lot of airplay.
So you're still doing it. You're still out there. You're still pressing for your dreams. And I got to say, keep at it because we love what you're putting out. It's just insane.
Well, I'm still that kid, I'm still a nerd for music and a nerd for guitars at Incorrigible. So,
we understand Incorrigible here because we have Mad Cat. And we abuse him on the daily. I just want you to know.
They do, man.
All right, Mad Cat, you wild man. I mean, he's not called Mad Cat because he's a good kitty.
That's a true story.
Oh, I think it is.
That is a true story.
When I walk into something...
You just entered the den.
My God.
Yeah, we're bad.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we were... Yeah, no. I won't even tell you what we were doing earlier.
Torturing me, man. Torturing me.
Uh-oh.
We gave him some summer pickup lines. He didn't think they were very good, though. He thought they would, either get him jailed or...
Oh, my God. They're like, you should go out to the bars and you should say these pickup lines to these women. I'm like, it's 2021. Each one of those will be an assault charge.
Yeah, each one of them is going to cost you, $5,000 in lawyer fees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, now you got a friend named Brian Ray. He's famous.
There you go.
That's right. Yeah, you could say, you want to come over to my house and talk to my famous friends?
Yeah, right.
I'll just have you write a song about how the girls on the balcony show got me beat up.
Yeah, right?
Anyways. All right. Well, listen, I want to thank you, sir, for seriously spending some time with us. What is happening in your world now? Are you going to be able to tour because of COVID? Are you heading back out on the road with Paul, or are you doing some solo stuff? What's going on?
Yeah, there's no new news on that one. There's every chance that we will at some point, but I never do the announcing for Paul, so I wouldn't be able to,
Okay.
Answer on that one. But I'd hope so. I've also had some interest in doing some solo shows, and I'm, mulling some ideas over in my mind.
Well, you can certainly go to your website and check out Brian Ray. I'm sure you'll have everything there that anybody could possibly need or want.
Yeah.
Right?
BrianRay.com. That's right.
So, with that, sir, I'm going to bid you good night, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, seriously, for spending time with us. You can't imagine what this means to us here.
It's my pleasure, really.
So, we're going to take a listen to Pirate Radio from Brian Ray, and we'll be right back with the rest of the show.
When I was a young boy, I got a new toy, a transistor radio. I was good to go. From the downbeat of my youth, I was searching for the sound of truth, and it found me. Yeah, it found me. On my radio came Wolfman Jack, and I'm never looking back. Up in my room late at night, I learned everything I know. That's where you'll find me, on Pirate Radio.
XCRP, Radio North America.
I heard the sweet soul sound. I got my Beatles and my Stones down. Learned a little blues rock, made my new guitar talk night and day. I was on the outside till I found my tribe. Oh, they found it. Yeah, they found me. On my radio came Wolfman Jack, and I'm never going back. Up in my room late at night, I learned everything I knew. That's where you'll find me, on Pirate Radio. Hit me like a freight train up in my brain. Yeah, like a searchlight lighting up the night in the summer sky. XCRB, Radio Caroline, Radio Luxembourg. Yeah, it sounds so fine. On my radio. Yeah, up in my room late at night, I learned everything I know. That's where you'll find me, on Pirate Radio. Up in my room late at night, I learned everything I know. In mono or stereo, that's where you'll find me, on Pirate Radio.
And that was Pirate Radio by Brian Ray. What a fantastic interview.
What a great guy.
Yes, it was really good. And, I do hope, You know, I would have liked to have drilled him a little bit more to get his perspective as a 17-year-old kid with the thing with, you know, with Graham Nash and, you know, or Graham Parsons. I'm sorry, not Graham Nash, Graham Parsons. Because what a fantastic story that is. And for him being 17 years old and getting taken under this guy's wing while Paul has just got this whole thing going on with the, you know, just read that story, guys. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think his whole life is a great story, and I hope someday that he puts it in a book.
I was literally just going to say that because it would be fantastic, just because of
a great read. Just from all the people that he knows,
the who's who of everyone that's kind of like been in his circle since the beginning.
Go ahead, Brian, put it in a vault until.
Yeah, right.
You don't have to release it now, but release it later. You know. Anyways,
good stuff.
Thank you to him. It was a real pleasure to have him on the show. So with that, do check out thebalconyshow.com for all the upcoming events. And if you want to catch a show you haven't heard, we are on all the listening platforms, iHeartMedia, iTunes, Spotify, you name it, we're there. And with that, I think I'm ready to go.
See ya!
I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to go.
I think we're ready to go. All right.
I don't have anything else to add. So
I'm allergic. Like, I'm literally allergic to cold, but I would like to go just sit on a giant block of ice right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hot.
That's all right. Yeah, we are hot.
Meanwhile, now everybody out in the West is like, man, those guys, they don't know nothing, man. Last night it was 189 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Canada's going, hold my beer.
And my wife still had to throw a leg up over me. I mean, come on.
With that, I'm going to say good night, everybody, from The Balcony Show. We'll catch you next week. And we're going to end things tonight with a song from Chelsea Lyn Meyer, Hangover. Take a listen.
That's what's up.
I'm a candy-coated shot, so take me. Make you act like you're a lot more brave, see. I could become your new addiction. Don't come at me with a chaser, baby. Infatuation make you crush and crave me. I can't be far in moderation. I try to tell you, slow down, I think you've had enough. What else could I do? I told you that you were good. Leave you with a hangover. Turn the lights on, you can find your way out. Better listen what I say before you black out. Now give me your full attention. Feeling jaded and frustrated, you are out of time. Intoxicated and you're faded, I'll call you alright. Oh, I've become your drunk obsession. I try to tell you, slow down, I think you've had enough. What else could I do? I told you that you were good. Leave you with a hangover, 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 hangover. Leave you with a hangover, 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 Remember how I left you feeling, and all the times I've heard you saying I'm never calling her again. Into the weekend you start texting, you're so addicted and you're not thinking, you know
And that's what's up.